Hey guys, how's it going? I'm James Reid and you're watching another tutorial from Candy Skull Tuts. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to speed through this one today because I'm constrained to 15 minutes on YouTube. So this is what we're going to be creating. It's a funky shattered text effect animation where the camera pans around and there's fragments flying off it. There's also some nice lens flares. Just quick word of where I got them. Media Militia, fantastic resource site. You pay $15 and you can get loads and loads of these shattered letters. However, they are chucking out the capital letters for free, so check them out. That's mediamilitia.com. I'll put a link on my website. So in After Effects, let's start straight away. So we're creating a new composition. I'm going to go Power DVD. It doesn't really matter. I've only used about 2 seconds worth, as you can see from the other comp. So the first thing we'll do is we'll come up, we'll go to Layer, New, Solid. We're going to create a background layer. We're going to go, check this out, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. There you go, nice grey. We will call this background. The project file for this will be available, hopefully. So now what we need to do is firstly duplicate this layer. So we're going to highlight it, press Ctrl D, or you come up to Edit, Duplicate. I'm just going to hit Enter while it's selected, and we're going to change the name to Shatter. Okay, and we'll leave that for the moment. So coming back to the background, we'll come down to Toggle Switches Modes, click on that, make it a 3D layer, hit P while it's selected, that'll bring up the position, and then you've got your X, Y, Z axis, and we're just going to move it back into Z space. I'll just turn this off quickly so you can see. We'll do it to about 300-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect, and then we'll just scale it right up so it's a lot bigger than our comp. So we've got that. Now what we're going to do is I've imported the letter C from that pack from Media Militia. I'm going to come and drag it on. Now you're not going to be able to see it because it's on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit S. We're going to scale it down a tiny bit, so down to 75%, and make it a 3D layer. Then we're going to hit P to bring up the position and just put it back in Z space about, I don't know, 200. That'll be fine. And we're going to drop it under our shatter layer. And we can turn our shatter layer on now. So the next thing we're going to do very quickly is we're going to come to Shatter. We're going to go Effect, Simulation, Shatter. Now you may have seen tutorials on how to create 3D effects in After Effects using the Shatter plugin. We aren't going to be doing that. We're just going to be using it as it's supposed to be, as a shatter plugin, as it were. So we'll just move forward to about a second. As you can see, it's on bricks. I really don't like the bricks, so we're going to go for glass. It gives it a bit more of a jagged edge. We'll make some more repetitions. That just means there's more bits flying around. And the force, we will make the radius a lot bigger so that everything is getting smashed up. We'll come down to the we'll just turn the strength down a touch and the depth there, and then the physics, put the gravity down to 0 so then it's not going to fall down or go up, and we'll turn the randomness up. So basically what that does now is it gives us a little bit more. We can even turn the strength down some more. It all depends on how many bits you want, you know, have a play around, find what you like. So we're just going to go to here. I'm just going to put this on half. You're not going to be able to see it, it's good. Okay, so with that done, the next thing we're going to do is just quickly come up to layer, new light. So we're going to create a light layer. We're going to go for a spotlight, around about 150 for the intensity, cone angle, nice big cone angle, 108 degrees. We're going to come down, the shadow darkness 60%, and the diffusion is 144 pixels. The color is just an off-white. You can put whatever color you want. We can hit OK. So what you've noticed that I've done is, because the shatter layer isn't actually a 3D layer, the light has not touched it. However, we can change that. If we come down to lighting and we change the light type to first comp light, that will now act as though it's a 3D layer. So we bring it up, we can put it through. Okay, so we'll just bring the light back a little bit using the Z axis once again. But you're probably asking yourself, well, that's all well and good, but surely it's just going to animate as it is. It's not going to go where our camera goes. Well, we come up, we create a new camera, go for a 35mm camera, hit OK. We'll also come up and we will do a null object, and we'll parent the camera to the null. Now I'm going to go over this in another tutorial, which I have planned soon. So check back if you want to know what all this means. So we will come up and we will go right. So we'll make the null a 3D. So we move this up. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, well how about we go into the shatter and we change the camera position, the camera system, to a comp camera. So now this is going to follow where we go. And we will change this orientation. Move about 3 seconds in. Just move it around a little bit. We'll go down. I'm just doing this very quickly, so I do apologise. Where's the Z? Let me bring up. There we go. This is what we want. A bit of Z in there. Okay. So basically, the idea is to follow the line of your shape, or just do it a bit randomly. So change the position here so it comes out, and we'll just make it a bit smoother. Apologies if you're about to hear my cat. Yeah, get out. Where was I? Oh yes, so basically what we're doing, we've just done this nice funky animation like so. We'll just come up, put it to full again, because we want to do a bit of colour correction here. So on the shatter we'll come down, right down to the bottom, maybe turn the lighting up, and we'll change the material so it's got a bit more of a specular feel, so it looks more 3D. And the last thing we'll do to this is we'll come up to effect, blur, fast blur, and just give the shatter a little bit of a blur. Then that way it looks like you've it's out of focus. Okay, it's going to be really rude of me. Okay, 5 minutes, great. And we'll just play around with the light very quickly then. Move the light up. There we go. So the last thing that we had on there was in fact some lens flares. So we just come up, create a new solid up the top, change the transfer mode to screen. If you haven't already got optical flares from Video Copilot, you really should. And you know, $100 and it's awesome, absolutely awesome. So we'll come down, we'll choose a red spot or something like that. Now what's going to happen it's just going to stay in the same place. So we're going to change it to a 3D. I'm going to move it over. Now, one of the things we need to do is on our C, if we hit P, we can see that it's 202 pixels back in Z space. So we'll come up and we will do 202. So that way it will tie in perfectly to where the thing is in Z space. Okay, so the camera now moves round, the lens flare goes with it. So the last final thing I did was just put an adjustment layer over the top. Used Grant Swanson's Armory preset. Give it a nice look, and then just let it render out. So what you've got going on here is you've got your fragments flying off, you've got your lens flare happily away there. Maybe add a flicker to it. I won't because I haven't got time. Maybe add a drop shadow to your letter, and just do quick little stings of letters. You know, add a couple of lens flares in. The possibilities are endless, but the main idea is that it looks like it's in 3D space and the camera can't quite focus on these shattered bits. So I've been James Reid. Hopefully you've learned something. I will be going into more detail about cameras and making things look a bit more 3D, but until then, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you've learned something, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.